So the ones that translate to be the free response are the two on the back. The rest of these translate to be multiple choice questions on the test, okay? So for the first one, find dy dx, that's asking for a derivative. This is the test on derivative rules. So like every question is going to be find a derivative, okay? So derivative equals. Now when you multiply that down, this is fun with fractions. You multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators. So 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 4, 12. All right, and then x, and you have to subtract 1. So 2/3 minus 1, negative. Good, perfect. Okay, this next part, I'm going to just write it off to the side. It would be negative 5x to the negative 2. So when you do that derivative, when you multiply it down, it's going to be positive 10x to the negative 3. Good. And then I'm going to fix the negative exponents. Again, it's multiple choice. So if that at that point you could pick the answer, you wouldn't really have to do any more work. You just look at your choices and figure it out. This would reduce to 1/6. And then the x is going to go on the denominator because it's negative. And to the 1/3 means a cube root. Or they might have left it as x to the 1/3. Believe it or not, I can't remember everything in the entire earth. So I don't remember exactly how it was written. But anyway, it might be with a 1/3. But denominator because it's negative. And then this would be plus 10 over x cubed. And they may have left it with a negative exponent. Again, I don't remember every question ever, but once you get there, you could pick the answer choice. It's going to be multiple choice. All right, here we're going to find f prime of 2. So first we're going to get the derivative, and then we're going to plug in 2. So looking at this, which rule do we need? Good. These are the two functions. All right, so how does product rule start? Right, the first function. All right, so it's 3g of x minus 9, the first function, times derivative of the second. So the derivative of this one, it would just be h prime. The 2 is a constant. All right, plus the second thing, and then times derivative of the first, which would be 3g prime. Good. And now we go fishing. Now you're just finding all these numbers. Okay. So we're plugging in 2. This first part, you need g of 2. So look at your table. What is g of 2? 4 times 3, 12 minus 9 is 3. Good. So now we're on this part. So h prime of 2. So go on your table. H prime of 2, negative 1. Plus, all right, this part is 2 plus h of 2. So that would be 2 plus negative 3. So that would be negative 1. And then this last part is 3 times g prime of 2. So that would be 3 times 5, which is 15. Now, because it's multiple choice, you got to keep going. That's not going to be one of the answer choices. You have to like boil it the whole way down. So this would be negative 3 and negative 15, negative 18. Cool. Instantaneous rate of change. That means derivative. So we're going to find the derivative and then we're going to plug in 2. What rule do we need for that one? Quotient. All right. So it is denominator, derivative of the numerator, which would be 3x squared, minus numerator, derivative of the denominator is 1. At this point, if you don't want to write the 1, I'm going to let that go. We've done this enough times that I feel like if you don't want to, you don't have to. All right, over. Beautiful. Perfect. And then you're just going to plug 2 into all of that. So 2 plus 5 is 7. If you plug 2 into this part, that's going to give you 12. Minus, all right, 2 cubed is 8, minus 4 is 4. And then that would be over 49. And again, you have to keep going. It's multiple choice. 12 times 7, 84. Minus 4, 80. So 80, 49. Find the, oh my gosh, guys, the directions are find the derivative. Can you believe that? What rule do you need for that one? Chain rule, good. You're gonna bring the 9 down, it's gonna drop to an 8. The guts of it stays the same, so just copy that over. And then you're gonna chain on the derivative of the stuff in the parentheses, which would be 3x squared plus 4. Nothing really to do to clean that up. It's all one term anyway, because it's all multiplied together, so that's it. All right, find f prime. All right, well, f prime is gonna equal, what do you think? H prime minus G prime. Don't overthink that. There was no product rule. There was no chain rule. You're just taking derivatives. All right, now they gave you this handy graph there. Derivative means slope. So what is the slope for H? This is back to algebra 1. Literally doing slope in algebra 1. Count the little boxes. Is it 2? All right, so that's 2 minus slope for that one. I don't know. Here, let's see. Let me find 2 nice points. It looks like it goes down to over 5. So that's -2/5. It's multiple choice, so you don't get to stop there. You have to keep going until you can get an answer. You need a common denominator. So how many fifths is 2? It's 10 fifths. And then this is actually plus 2 fifths. So 12 fifths. All right, next section. Trig, exponential, and logarithmic. Find y prime. This is a chain rule. What's the most outside part of the chain? The square. Good. So the 2 comes down. It's going to drop to a 1. I didn't write it that time, but it's a 1 there. All right, dot. What's the next link in the chain? Secant. So what's the like at this point you're going to have to know derivative of secant. Secant tangent. So it is secant 5x tangent 5x. And then the last link in the chain times 5. Now, I won't make you rewrite it here, but just so that you can pick A, B, C, or D. They would multiply the 2 times 5, and so out front you would have a 10. And do you also see how it's secant times secant? How would they write that? Right. Okay, I just want you to not get, it's a sad day if you get the right answer and still can't pick the choice. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so it'll look a little different, but same thing, right? Don't do this to me.